We started off with modest squats, but working on a lot of posture and proper techniques. And here she's, she's just lightly touching the mat and she's activating the glutes. At the beginning, we actually braced Elizabeth so that she could go down lower. The knees are braced against the bench and she's able to twist in a low squat. Here she's pretty much independent, except she has her elbows against her thighs, so that provides a bracing. By the 4 or 5 month stage, down quite low, and notice she has her hands above her head, actually stretching her shoulders. Lunge squat, she's got her arms around her thigh. And what Elizabeth is doing, she's actually twisting her thighs and activating the rotators in the hips. So those rotators are going to be very important for more athletic movements, such as this is quite an ambitious step here. And we did a number of exercises using a modest one step with the railing. So that would have been the approach at the beginning of Elizabeth's program. Here she is 4 or 5 months later. No railings, but she has the stick there to help her with her balance. So this is a forward step. And I'm finishing with a rotation at the end there. So this is just to show that at the beginning of the program, because Elizabeth was tentative and really needed enlightened progressions, this is a strap underneath the shoulders, similar to crutches. However, as she progressed, she was able to do more complicated, ambitious exercises. This is a especially good one for working on the glutes and the relationship of the hips, pelvis, and lower back. The steps are excellent for attenuating or focusing on those relationships. So important for walking, running, generally moving on your legs, on your feet. A backward step using the railings at the beginning. Here, just one step. And just to show that rotations can be intentionally brought into the equation. This particular approach, again, to attenuate the relationship of the hips, the pelvis, the lower back. Now Elizabeth is doing a side step. Easiest progression with 1 or 2 steps, but using a railing. The more ambitious approach, really accentuating the groin and the glutes. Notice she's bringing one leg backwards, steps down, then she goes forwards. And that's just giving variation in the combinations of muscles. Rotators are being challenged one direction, then the other way, the other direction. Would like to see her bend her leg more when she hits the ground. You want to make sure you're cushioning your joints. Next is called the crossover. The easiest version using the railings. Again, that relationship, the glutes, the hips, the lower back, the pelvis. Now at the 5-month mark, Elizabeth can handle these types of exercises, which reinforce the core. In fact, all of these exercises reinforce the core. Lower leg exercises at the end of the workout. That might be the time to especially tire them out because they are needed for the balancing with those steps. Scrolling through this collection of exercises for the lower body that I've developed, we would be picking the simplest ones for anything that required working on Elizabeth's weaknesses. You might notice that some of the exercises are in fact high level. Elizabeth has strengths as well, so we wouldn't necessarily hold her to the simplest overall routine. Check out the other two videos where Elizabeth focuses on the midsection, which a lot of people think of as the core. Another video is the upper body, again reinforcing the core when applied properly. Doing some yoga type poses. So special shout out for hydrotherapy, which is actually being in a pool up to your waist or up to your chest, depending on what you're doing. And most of what you've seen shown in this video could actually be done in a pool, ideally a warm water pool. Say, if you're still here, please press like and consider subscribing. Feel free to comment. Feedback is always welcome.